So, welcome back to Easy Rollers D&D. This is the recap from episode 16. Last episode, the party enjoyed some downtime following the events of the day, which saw Alberta speak to them about the details of how they got information from Camilla and the mystery surrounding the apparent fight leading to a double murder, but also to celebrate Doodle's efforts in the wrestling ring. During the downtime, Opal went off with a mysterious member of the Crimson Blade who offered to teach her how to operate in society without drawing unwanted attention to herself or the guild. With the knowledge that the next day they were to be summoned to a meeting with the Watch Commander, they retired to their cottage in the Garden District, but en route were assailed upon by the eldest of the Cambion children, who was posing as a woman in distress. As the fight did not go in the person's favour, they elected to flee into the night, to where or what purpose is unknown. And the next day the party were rudely disturbed by a rather angry dwarf, who was a member of the watch, and after a bit of falling out they agreed to follow him to the docks, where a boat was waiting for them, and that is where we find the party now, in episode 17 of Amion. We begin on board the yacht that you have come to know as Ellen. The skipper, Eve, has seen that your journey to the headland has been as comfortable, and where possible, the crew have looked after you well, though you've had the ability to roam the deck and help yourselves to food and drink below the galley. So, it was a day and a half's sail. You have got any time you want to use during that time to catch up. Obviously, it's been a little time since we played, so if you want to catch up, if you want to request from me any reminders, please feel free, and we'll do that, and then we'll jump into the next bit.
Can you please? Did I get any blood with me so I don't have any issues with feeding
Well,
from
we
the?
didn't we didn't specifically say that you did, but what we
We
will
did, however, organise the deliveries from the butcher's shop to
Yeah, I
that's
think you
true.
did.
Yeah, you did. So that
come
that's
every
that's
morning.
one source. But I would say after your meeting with the member of the Crimson Blade Order, to be honest, I didn't actually go back and look through my notes, and I'm not going to do it now because it would take too much time. It was the House of Blood, and his it had an elvish name as well. Anyway, he would probably have said to help you along your way. Here's some flasks, like wine skins, and they contain blood. Um,
Okay,
Blood, of course, without being kept cold, will go off swiftly. Um, so I think he would probably have provided you with uh, a special box which is lined in a certain way that when ice is inserted into it, it keeps it cool. We would, of course, know that in the modern world as a cooler, but as this is D&D world, that doesn't exist. So it's
Fantasy
something.
it's
colour.
magic.
It's something that the vampires have sort of come up with over time to keep blood cold. Um, where they get their ice from, we don't know.
Oh,
But
come on.
yeah, you do have some blood with you. You are safe. I would say that you fed at his house, which was only the day before. Um, amongst all my dice, where is there a D4?
I think he gave me animal blood, didn't he?
No, he gave you actual human blood.
Ah, okay,
You're sated for 3 days anyway.
okay.
And then you have flasks and deliveries from the butchers. So you're well stocked. And I think we said in the past that as long as
Yeah,
you're in a civilized place and you have access to such things, you don't actually have to
I'm
worry.
fine.
It's only when you're in the
Okay,
wilds that things might
yeah.
change. But yeah, you're fine for 3 days. Um, would you like to discuss anything on board? Do anything? Or should we say you had a pleasant sail?
I think I'm quite alright with a pleasant sail and oiling up the joints,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same for Opal. She needs to. She just needs to contemplate what has happened and how she can continue and the things he told her. So it's like, she's kind of taking her time to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. How about Rodeo? How are you finding the trip?
It's just enjoying being back on the sea again, even if it's just a short trip.
Yeah.
And, like helping a navigator out.
Yeah,
Attending
absolutely.
to him. Yeah.
You also hear talk of what did I call it now? It was you hear talk of amongst the sailors, and they might say to you if perhaps you found a fishing rod on board, for example, they might just say to you, "Oh, by all means, do some fishing, but don't chuck anything that you might consider chum overboard, or Sokum might come."
What might come?
Sokum. It's something you would have heard of. Sokum. It's it's one of those sort of like nautical. What would you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like walking under a ladder or a black cat.
Now you got me.
Do you mean bad luck?
Yeah, like bad luck, but I can't think of the actual. Not cursed.
I see.
I'm not going to dwell it. I'm not going to dwell on it.
Jinxed. It's like a jinx.
It's like something, yeah, like bad luck, some kind of like a bad luck charm. Sakurum is this kind of like. Some people think it's a some people think it's a were shark. Some people think it's a merman. Something like that.
Right. So something
Superstitious.
something that you might invoke, something
Yeah.
superstitious,
Superstitious, yeah.
like
Sailors.
saying
superstition,
Beetlejuice 3 times. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Well, that's me not offering to scrape the barnacles off the boat as we're sailing along. Then.
So what can we not throw in? Do you mean like if we try to fish?
Well, I couldn't throw you in, for
bait?
example.
If you had like a fish head, you wouldn't.
For
you
you
wouldn't.
not to throw me.
They're sort of saying you wouldn't like.
Or
chop
wouldn't
the
throw a
heads.
chum in.
Yeah, you wouldn't go chumming. You wouldn't like take the guts of a fish or the heads and discard them over the side.
Sorry, I didn't know the word. How do you say it? Chumming?
Chumming, yeah.
Chum, yeah.
It's the sort of thing you'd do for like
You
if
got
you.
the fish.
Yeah.
It's just that what you do is when you're chumming, you sort of load the water with fish guts to get them.
That's fine.
Sharky
Okay.
things
Yeah.
interested in
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if
Sorry,
you went,
I didn't know the
no,
word.
that's fine. If you went like diving
It's
for
all right.
sharks, you would chum the water to bring them in.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
you're
With
fishing for
blood
sharks,
and
some
stuff.
people do go
Yeah.
game
I would
fishing
have
for
no
sharks.
idea on the word in Greek or even French, German, Russian, or Dutch, which is the languages speak.
But they would suggest you don't chum the water. But then at the same time, you do see, because this isn't like an open piece of water where they're on over boats. This is like the bay area for Porthbury, and you do see that there are fishing boats, and they are catching fish and gutting them and chucking them overboard. It's just a sailor superstition. But you do hear rumours of it, and you don't know. I think Rollo would definitely know, or would have heard of this before. Maybe surprised.
I mean, is it worth us dangling a rod in the sea while we're going? Have a little bit of a fish. Maybe we could have a competition. See who catches the biggest fish.
You could absolutely do that if you wanted to.
Yeah, this
Anyone
could be
fancy
fish
a bit of a fish?
I
Yes.
think it will be fine if we see if it is true.
Righty-ho. Right. How do we go about a fish then?
Right. Well,
nature check or
well, first of all,
sleight of hand for the
let's say
godly little.
there are some rods on the boat. People do a bit of fishing here and there while they're out and about. Yes, let's have a nature check, and that's going to determine what sort of fish do you think you're fishing for, and then it would also determine, based on the roll, what sort of bait you think you might need. Do you need to catch bait fish, or can you maybe chuck some bread overboard? What can you find in the galley, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, I've been around for a long time, so I scored a 15 on that.
Excellent. Okay, so let's say you want to catch what? Something that may be a bit more of a meat eater, or you going for like
Sea
a
bass.
more
I
of
want
a,
to catch something bigger than the others are going to catch.
so something a bit more substantial.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe like a some kind of shark, perhaps.
Some kind of shark would be splendid, because I'm not interested in eating it. I don't do a lot of that sort of thing.
Or even something like a conger eel, something fairly large that would attack.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep. What did Opal do on this?
I just sit and observe.
Because
Just to see.
I was going to say, bearing in mind, Opal is kind of not too happy about water, are you?
No, I'm not. Yes, I don't want to fish, but it is fun to see how people fish because
Yeah.
it is something that I cannot do and I don't like it. But it is intriguing to see if this actually she's more she wants to see if this kind of superstition is true.
Cool.
This is what it kind of made her more curious.
How about Rodeo? What are you up to?
I rolled a 17 in total,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be looking for either makos or reef sharks.
So some kind of.
It's
So
a bay area.
you're both looking for sharks or some sort of large gamey kind of fish. So you'd both know that you need to definitely catch some kind of bait fish for this, and maybe raiding the galley you'll find some bits that you can use to attract bait fish. You take the bait fish, you prepare them, you start chumming the water. Now, the way this will work is, as I sort of said to you, so from last episode to this episode for YouTube, for podcast, I said that we were on kind of like not a square rigged ship, but some sort of like schoonery type. And I think I said I did some refreshing of my own nautical knowledge. It was a catch or a fetch rig for a schooner. It's something like that. But it's
I think
basically
it's catch rigged, isn't it?
catch
for a
rig.
schooner?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, catch. Which is kind of like almost, but somewhere between square and triangular. So this boat is heeling. It's heeling over to let's say the port side as it's sailing across the bay. You've got some head of speed, but I mean, probably no more than 10 knots, which is actually quite fast on a large sailing boat, to be fair. And you guys kind of like got yourselves propped up at the stern, and you've been chucking stuff overboard, and you've caught some bait fish, and you've gutted them, you've headed them, you've chucked that overboard to chum the water, and you do cast your lines in with maybe a live. You kept a couple live, and you've hooked them up to your lines and chucked them over. Let's have a luck roll. So if someone wants to roll a D100 for me, please.
You can roll it.
Yes, if you want to, yeah.
So I have a 1 and a 00. Is this
that
11?
That would be a 100, I believe. If you got a 1 and 00, that'd be 100. Or is it 10 and 0? I can never remember.
No, it's 10 and 1, so it's 11.
It's 10 and 1, so it's 11.
Mhm.
Okie dokie.
It would have been 100 if it was all zeros.
If it was all zeros. You don't. Yeah, there's not much going on at the moment in the way of fish. Would anybody else like to have a little go? I mean, you've got a day and a half of this, so if you want to commit some serious time to fishing,
I'd like to spill a little bit blood from one of my flasks. Not all of it, just
that
to
will
make
lower
it a little bit
that
more
will lower the
bloody.
percentage. I was going with 50. I was going with 50-50. So anything below 50 would be a no. Anything above 50 would be yes. But I'm going to swap that round. Now you put some actual blood in there. Well, there was blood anyway, but adding extra blood, I'm going to swing that down to so anything 30 below, no. Anything above, yes.
Should I re-roll?
I got 97. Just sent a picture in.
Nice. So perhaps in the morning of the first day, Rodeo discovers the rods, and you go, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea." You start getting the bits and bobs together needed to go fishing. You both go, "Yeah, let's go. Let's try and get the biggest thing we can." And
Man,
and it gets later into the afternoon. You start going, "Oh, there's nothing going on at all." And then you get a knock on the end of your rod, and it starts going and going, and then and Gottel's rod starts knocking as well, and you both start getting this knock. You're going to hook into it? If you're going to do
Yes.
that, I'd like some strength rolls from both of you.
Oh no.
Strength rolls, you say?
Yes, please.
A bad.
17
no
minus 1.
strength.
17
Yeah.
strength. The 17 for 17 rodeo, was it?
12
17
for
minus
me.
1, so 16 total.
16, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'll just put the fan for Coco. I'll be back in a
That's
second.
all right. What did you say, Gottel?
12 for me.
12. Lovely. You both hook into it. Let's have an acrobatics, because you are on a boat which is heeling. So, i.e. leaning to one side, as sailboats do. And you need to steady yourselves.
Magnetics is 21.
You're safe.
I've engaged my magnetic boots,
Excellent. You're
even though it's a
attached.
wooden ship.
You're attached. Maybe some little screws come out the bottom and go zzz into the deck.
Those little extra
15.
legs that come out of, like, you know, when you got the street lamp operator things where they put the extra legs out.
Yeah. The what do they call outriggers or something like that, don't they?
Yeah.
And a 15 from Rolio, wasn't it?
Yes.
Excellent. What's on the other end puts a huge strain on both of you, but because you both got good scores, you're staying on board. But what you see, probably 100 feet behind the boat, you didn't get into one fish, you're into two individual fish, sorry. You're into one fish, which has leaped out of the water, and it is a ginormous shark.
Yes, of course, shark.
Excellent. Right.
You're both into the same fish. It's what I'm saying.
That's right. You get over to one corner of the boat. I'll get over to the other back corner of the boat.
Sounds like a plan. I'll run over.
The skipper Eve comes over and she says, it's rather fantastic that you've caught, or at least hooked a large fish, but what do you intend to do about it?
Well, the joy's in the catching, you know. Catch it, weigh it. Is there anybody on board who can do an etching or a lithograph or, you know, some sort of commemorative painting very quickly?
Well, I did see it jump, but I don't think you're going to get it on board, to be honest. It's about the same size as the boat.
You know, well, you know, we could tow it a bit.
Okay. I'm also panicking a little bit here in DM seat because I'm like thinking, I don't think there are any rules in DM for fishing, and you've got a large shark on the end of your lines.
Shark, da 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 da.
Yeah, we're talking like Jaws is on the other end of your lines. We're going to have a strength off. I'm going to find out what the strength score for in fact.
Can I persuade him to just give up and come for a little swim with us? Come on. Come on, go on.
Do you have the ability to
throw you out some sandwiches?
Can you persuade beasts?
I could play a very convincing tune.
But how are
Or
you
I could tell him. Maybe I could tell him some jokes.
You're not going to play a tune. Oh yeah, jokes. Yeah, but you're not going to play a tune where you're holding onto a fishing rod, are you?
I can play the drum with one hand and hold the rod with the other, or I could play the drum with my foot.
Well, you're going to have.
Hell, I could probably give Opal lessons on playing the drum or the dulcimer while I'm fishing.
Because you
that
are
talented a dove bird.
You are going to have to reel as well as hold the rod, so you won't be playing any instruments. Let me find some stats for a giant
Just
shark.
narrow-minded. You're not thinking of my groinal attachment.
To be honest, when we started this, I did not expect this is the way the episode was going to go.
Megalodon has a strength of 24.
A strength of 24.
That's 16 foot to 55 foot.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got giant shark here. That's cool. Yeah, no, we're not going Megalodon. We're not going that big. But yeah, okay? So I've got my stats there for a giant shark. Right. Okay. We're gonna roll initiative for this, just so we can you guys can act, and the shark can act. You guys will act
Opal,
on.
get the net.
I grab the net.
So you two roll initiative, and we'll take the best of those two, and then I'll roll initiative because you're going to act on the same initiative because you wouldn't have one person reel and then the other person reel. You'd reel at the same time.
Do I need to roll
19.
initiative?
Well, Opal's
19 as well.
Oh, you're both 19. Okay. It depends on what Opal wants to do. I mean, if you can roll initiative if you've got something you want to do.
Of course, she is willing to help as long as she stays away from the water. But if she will be like, maybe I won't roll initiative, but if I see that they are struggling and they are going to lose it, I can help with the
You can give
strength
the help
checks.
action or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Okay, well, the good news is, Gotland and Rodeo, you are up first. So I'm going to say this. Each round, I'm making this up as we go along, each round you get a free action of reeling in. So that's going to be a opposed strength check against the shark. And if we have 3 failures of strength checks, then we'll check the line strength, and if it fails, then it snaps and you lose your prize. So you're up first, so you get your free action to both reel in, which is an opposed strength check. So both of you get to make an opposed strength check against the shark. We take the best score of the two.
I got a 4.
Got a 14.
A 14. Should we take the best? Well, actually, yeah, definitely. Oh, hold on, because what's the 6, 7, 8, 9? Yeah, you gain a little bit of line on the shark with your free action to reel it in. And we said it was 100 feet away. We're going to call that a movement of 20. So you got five goes to get this thing up to the boat. So it's on 80 at the moment. But you have reeled it in. What would you like to do with your actual actions?
So it's 80 foot away at the moment,
It's currently 80 feet away. And we are making this up on the seat of our pants.
Can't do anything
Sorry
at
about
8
that.
feet, but I can do something at 60 feet.
Okie dokie. So you want to get at least another round in to try and pull this thing in closer. How about Rodeo?
Can I point my ring at the shark and shout part water? And then move the water away from the shark?
Yeah, I guess. Does it work?
So 300 foot.
Right, okay.
And it causes a trench to appear around water 20 foot.
A 20-foot deep trench? Or 20-foot wide?
Well, it says I can do it up to 100 foot cube.
Okay. I will allow it.
One.
I will allow it. I will also ask you to consider, as I know you're not a very boaty person, if you cause this shark to fall to the bottom and it weighs more than the boat,
yeah,
you are creating a sea anchor and your boat is going to suddenly do a backflip.
The gist of it was to get it out of the water a bit to take its strength away.
But then you'd need to levitate it as well.
Yeah, all right, okay then. I won't do that.
Otherwise, you take the water away, the shark's just going to go belly flop onto the floor.
Right, okay.
Or at least, if it's not 100 feet deep, it'll go belly flop until it hits the water again. And then it's kind of almost pointless because he's still dragging that thing behind you.
Yeah, okay. No, I won't do that. It's fine. Yeah, there's nothing for me to do there.
Okie dokie. It is the shark. It's going to try and pull against you. As there's 2 of you on it, I'm going to make 2 strength checks for it. Black dice is Rolio, purple dice is Gottel. So for Gottel, oh my goodness me, 18 plus 6, and then 6 plus 6 for Rolio. So 12 and 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 for Gottel to oppose. It's
I
trying to...
rolled a nat 1.
Oh dear.
$13.
Rodeo remains firm on the deck. Gottel flies off the back and into the water.
Can I try and catch him?
You can have a reaction to try and grab a hold of him and give him an assist on his strength.
So is it like a strength check?
Make a strength check. It's 20. What do you say? 24 to beat.
12. Do I fly with him? Oh shit.
I think you're flying with him. I
Let
think
me
you're
see.
flying with him. I think
How much
you
damage do I
kind
get?
of you kind of see this going on. You put your arms around his waist to try and steady him, but you both of you go woof into the air. You're okay.
How high up are we?
Oh, you'll go like you won't go like high. You'll go like 10 feet up maybe, and then back. Let's say you sail 30 feet into the sea, from the sheer force of it. You're okay, Opal, because we did specify in the opening session you are susceptible to running water, and I ruled it in the first session. The sea would not class as running water; it is a body of water.
Thank you.
Yes, there are currents, there are flows, and some people might go, well, actually, but no, I would classify running water as from a tap or a river where it is actively running in one direction. The sea is would not class it that way. But you are both now in the sea, in chummed
Oh,
water with a
shit.
giant shark. And the boat is going away from you. The only attachment between the boat and the shark is Rolio. And it is Gottel and Rolio's go. I will let the person with the highest dex go first, because now you are separated. There would, of course, have been a call from the crew, man overboard, and they would be bringing the boat about to collect you. It's going to take 2 or 3 turns to get there. Not just because of the distance, because you can't really turn a sailboat that quickly.
My dex is 13.
Dex is 13.
My dex is 14.
Cool. Gottel, you can act first. You and Opal have landed in the drink. You can make a joint
Right.
decision, if you like, on your turn.
So I guess that we're probably swimming a little bit. I mean, do you want to piggyback?
You're definitely swimming a little bit.
Right. So if I go
Yeah,
onto my back and do the backstroke, you can use me as a boat.
And I
Climb
can also
aboard and
help.
sit,
Opal is much like
paddle away.
a cat that has landed in water and completely terrified.
Right. So I'll do the old backstroke towards the boat, and Opal can sit on top and paddle away to help with the
I do that.
with the swimming thing
So you guys are
or the
at
floating thing.
30 feet. So that's... Okay. That's its movement speed. Okay, Rolio, what are you up to? So you guys are swimming back towards the boat.
I think
I'll
so.
I'll just let go of the fishing rod and I'll dive in and wild shape into a orca and
Cool.
go after him.
The boat is coming about. Rolio has jumped in to come after you. What's the swim speed on an orca?
Oh, that's a good question. Orca 5e. 60 foot.
You can arrive at their position, no problem. What I will say is this giant shark can also arrive on their position in its turn. So you get this shark, and in the typical shark fashion, they don't go straight in for an attack. It's just making a little circle around, assessing the situation. But we do see, as we know from great whites, it is diving to come back and make that surface ambush attack. So it has begun its dive. we return to your turn. I will say you could pick them up and return them to the boat in your turn. But I
Yeah, I'll
will
do.
give the shark an opportunity attack.
That's fine. I'll do that. I'm going to bump him onto my back and then swim towards the ship.
So as you're making your way away, it makes an opportunity attack against you, Rolio. That is a 16 plus 9 to hit.
Armor class is 12.
Yeah, so you bump onto your back, and this shark comes rushing up from underneath the water, and it opens its jaws, and it does clamp onto you. I'm going to say it flings these guys off and closer towards the boat, but it's got a hold of you, and does... Ouch, that's going to hurt. I am sorry, but it is going to hurt. Where's my other D10?
Can I do something?
Hang on. 17 points of damage as it grabs
Yeah,
a
that's
hold of
fine.
you. And then, yes, what would you like to do, Opal?
I would like to do an Eldritch Blast on the shark, please.
Yeah.
Which one is my ranged attack? Okay. $24.
It hits.
So there is the beam of crackling energy, hits the shark, and he gets 8 hit points of force damage.
And it's enough that it lets go of Rodeo. Rodeo, have you dropped your wild form?
No, still.
You're still in it. Cool.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you could be in
Do I-
serious trouble.
Do I get a go at a verbal spell as well?
You can do a verbal spell. I was going to say it has let go of Rodeo.
It is just verbal. So we want a wisdom save, please, from the shark.
Okay. That is a rolled 18, but its wisdom is... It's an 18.
It's 18. Ugh, can I use...
This dice is doing very well tonight. This is usually the one that rolls low.
Yeah, so I want to use my cutting words to further do him in.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to roll a thing, and he can take 4 points off his roll.
Okay.
But sadly, that's still not enough for him to succumb to the spell that I'd cast, which is Dissonant Whispers. Because he got 14 instead of 13. I was hoping for just a slightly higher roll
Never mind.
to bring him under it. On a failed save, it takes blah, 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 blah. Does it take... Yeah, takes half damage, so it would take half damage. And... Yeah, so it can take 5.
Cool.
Psychic. Its very soul is screaming into its boots. If it had boots.
It's fine. So you and Opal, you sploosh down into the water. The shark has let go of Rolio. It's shaking off this psychic damage. It gives Rolio just enough time, I suppose, as the boat is still turning. It's not made its way back to you yet. Gives Rolio enough time, still in orca form, to grab you, having taken the opportunity attack, and flee back to the boat. You do get back on board, and the boat will resume its course. The shark will be in pursuit. We can drop out of initiative unless you want to do anything to it from the actual boat, but it will be in pursuit. It will be bumping the boat quite aggressively, but it can't do anything to it.
I think I'll give it another case of Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn back to human. Jump back in. I'll do
That's
like a
another
free
whiz.
willy jump over the ship and then fall back into.
Nice. So it'd be a wisdom save again from the shark, please.
That is a nat 20. This dice is
Perfect.
doing very well. I like
Yeah.
this one.
And I now part water and drop into the bottom of the ocean.
That's probably a good idea.
Yes, you can use your spell of tides, whoever it is, to
Ring it tight, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Can you choose the area to do it on? Did I say you could choose the area?
Yes.
You can. Because otherwise you don't want
Yes.
to have it in a line from the boat and then your boat also drops to the bottom of the ocean.
No, it's 300 foot until the spell ends. Freestanding water, so the area up to 100 feet.
Yeah, so you can choose a point. You're not doing it in a line or nothing like that. Just making sure.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so you pick your spot and you drop the level. The shark goes down with it, and you can quite happily aboard the good ship Ellen, make your way out, and the crew and the skipper Eve all come to you and are, well, that was an interesting day's fishing, wasn't it? Bet you weren't expecting that.
No, well, you know, keeps us going. But the shark will think twice again now because it took an awful lot of fall damage hitting the bottom of the sea, and then it took bludgeoning damage when the water went back on top of it. So I'm sure it's feeling a bit sorry for itself now.
I think it probably is. I wonder if that was the legendary Sockham.
No, he didn't have any socks on at all.
Well, maybe it wasn't then. Probably all for the best.
Yes, he had no feet and no toes. I did see no socks, I'm afraid.
Excellent, excellent. Well, why don't you treat yourselves to the galley? We're going into the evening soon. We can have some music and some wine and some food. And tomorrow by lunch we'll be arriving on the other side where the headland is.
Rorio, do you need healing up, or do you think you'll be all right if you get a rest, or do you want a bit of healing anyway? Because you're very brave.
I'm absolutely fine, mate.
As I said,
It doesn't affect me
it
outside of
didn't
that.
go through your temporary hit
No.
points for the thing, did it? No.
No. Killer Whale's got 90 points. It's a big hit.
No, but it's always nice to ask and just double check that you're not carrying any injuries, ingrowing toenails or anything like that, you know.
Definitely not. Thank you, mate.
Good. Excellent.
Well, there we are. That
Okay.
was a lovely made-up combat that I wasn't expecting. How to
was good.
derail the episode.
Just throw a shark in it.
Just throw it
But
out.
you had to ask us, is there anything you want to do on this very short voyage?
I did, yes. I did ask that. You're quite right.
So it's your own bloody fault.
Fishing for a legendary shark was not my anticipation. Anyway,
We're
Cool.
going to need a bigger boat on the way back, Rolio.
Indeed we are.
we
Indeed
can
we
always
are.
take the long way and just walk around. You don't have to come back across the bay.
Got a time.
Oh,
Got a dragon.
our Moby Dick.
Yeah, and on the front of the dragon, it's still like it's only been, I think, by the time you get to the headland, it's only 2.5 days since Gotthold heard word of it in Ventus. So that would still put it, just under a week away from arriving in Porthbury. But yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else, you enjoy your evening. The next day, perhaps you think twice about fishing, and you arrive at the headland. And at the headland is a small wooden jetty and a couple of buildings that are like storehouses, city watch guardhouse, some lodgings, like an outhouse, a kitchen. And you disembark your boat, it pulls up onto this jetty, you get tied off. And there's a few of the watch guards, and there's only a couple, there's not very many here. And they sort of point you up the hill when you sort of announce who you're coming to see.
I take it we long rested after the fishing exploits.
Yeah, that would class as a long rest.
Journey over.
I don't really think you took much of an exhaust. Well, I
It
suppose
being an over.
You spent a couple of spell slots, didn't you? So
Spell slots and bardic inspirations and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
They don't grow on trees.
they don't, but you know it was a rest situation, so you're fine. You can reload those. But yeah, you sort of make your way. You sort of pointed. Oh yeah, the watch commander is at the top of the hill here, or at the top of the cliff. It's quite a steep climb, and today is quite a warm day, very much like what we're experiencing at the moment. So it's not pleasant. It's very sticky. It's very close. For Gottel, obviously you wouldn't notice this so much, but there are some very steep steps that wind up this craggy cliff face. It's covered in gorse bushes and hanging vines, but at the top, the view is quite commanding. You can see out to sea for miles on a lovely clear sunny day like this one. There's a pleasant breeze that blows up over the cliff and cools you after your climb. You also notice it gives a great view of the bay and the city. And there are some defensive walls and large cannons that face out to sea and into the bay towards the city. But the most noticeable feature is the impressive watchtower that stands tall. It's made of a dazzling white stone with windows that wind around it. At the top is a galley deck that circles the tower, and there's some smaller cannons similar to bow chasers that are fixed to it. There is a watchman who sort of says, "Greetings, do you have business here with the watch commander?"
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
Excellent. What were your names, please?
But he sent for us.
But I still need your names for you to pass.
You should know then.
Have you not got it? Well, what names are on your list, my good man? Maybe you've heard of us. I don't know.
He looks at his list. He does have a list. He takes a scroll out of a little pouch. He looks at it and says, "Well, if you can confirm your names, I would be willing to let you pass, but I cannot let you pass, of course, until you confirm who you are. You could be anybody."
Oh, that's true. But what's your name?
My name is Peter.
Peter.
That's right.
Right. Peter what?
Peter Intug.
Peter Intug. All
Peter
right.
Intug.
Right. I thought you reminded me of somebody called File. There you go.
Yes, you are rather amusing, aren't you, you wee metal man? But no, I still need your names, please, to allow you entry.
Gottley Gear. Gottley Gear. Gottley Gear. Hey.
Excellent. You may pass, sir.
Radio.
Excellent.
Yes, I'm expecting a rodeo. And you, young lady?
Opal Ivy?
Yes. Excellent. Well, he'll be in his study. Let me just see. I've got to remind myself which floor that was on. So there are 6 floors to this watchtower. And he's on the 3rd. So as you make your way into the tower and up, so you've got a bit like a lighthouse. What you've got is round rooms, open floors, but they go up through this like ladder system. So there's no like stairway that leads around the outside of it calling up. There's like ladders go through hatches, and they have rope handles as you go up through. The ground level, that serves as a storeroom where they keep cannonballs, other sort of like military paraphernalia. The first floor is also similar, a weapon store, but more sort of like for swords, bows, handheld weapons, that sort of thing. Second floor is food store and kitchen, and then you arrive through a hatchway into the 3rd floor, which is Commander Gildane's office, and that's where you find him. The office is tidy. He keeps a colourful bird in a cage that sings pleasant tunes. Bookshelves line the walls. He has a drinks globe and several potted plants. It's a place of work, but it's kept very well, and by what is clearly a dedicated man. And what you see of this man is he's wearing quite a parade-style military uniform. Not armor, just very, very smart uniform. In the colours of the guard, or the watch, sorry, with the emblem on it, on the sort of like the epaulets, and he's quite frail looking, but he still has a certain command about him. Bald-headed, with a small grey goatee, but clearly an elderly man. And he looks up to you and says, greetings. You must be now Gottel, Opal, and Rolio. No, I don't know which name belongs to you all, except I would not imagine, young lady, that your name belongs to anything other than Opal. A beautiful gem for a beautiful
course.
face. And gentlemen, which name belongs to you?
I'm radio.
Nice
Just
to meet
I'm
you.
Gottel.
realised I don't have a last name for radio.
That's fine. Which means that you would be Gottel.
That's right. Pleased to meet you, sir.
He stands up to
Lovely.
extends a hand to shake your hands. And expecting you on this day, there are 3 chairs available on the other side of his desk. Please do have a seat.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
Yes, thank you.
You're most welcome. Now, can I offer you, it's my own vintage from my vineyard. Would you like a glass of wine?
No, I'm gonna say no. Thank you. Very kindly.
Oh.
But
Well, what time of day is it?
It's gone halfway through the day.
Oh, if it's over the yard arm, it's going in the glass.
Yeah,
Honey,
sun's
yes,
over
certainly,
the
it'd
arm.
be lovely.
He takes up a decanter, and it's a lovely red wine, and it is, he grows his own wine, his own grapes to make wine, and he pours you off a glass and he hands it to you. Opal, are you taking a glass of wine?
Yes, I am.
He
I'm
looks
sorry,
to,
I'm laughing.
That's all right. He looks to Rolio and he says, perhaps a tea for the gentleman, or a coffee,
no, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you very
a
much.
glass of water, perhaps. I can't see you go out.
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you.
Well, he goes to he goes to this bureau or the drinks globe, sorry, where the wine comes from. He pours those off for you two. He goes to another sort of bureau type thing, and he takes out some biscuits and bread and some cheese, and he pops it all down on the desk. And please do help yourselves. We're all friends here. You're probably wondering why I invited you to join me here. It was actually through, what's his name now? Governor Celadon. He mentioned in a town meeting that this Runsi, Camilla Runsi, you managed to get some damning evidence from her that she was behind some kind of piratical plot to sink ships on the coast, and our governor was on it along with yourselves. Is that right?
That's right. She was the pirate king. Haha.
She's a pirate king. Or queen,
Well,
I suppose.
she was the pirate king. Yes, but sadly, she met with a terrible accident while shaving.
Yes, well, this is something I was going to get on to you about, this terrible accident. You seem to know an awful lot about it, though claiming not to have been there.
Well, I only assumed from the rumours that it was while she was shaving a beard.
Oh, so how did both of them die? Do you know?
She was very extravagant with the stropping of the razor.
I think this requires a
Oh,
performance.
so the tale goes.
Well, let's have a performance check.
17.
Way outclasses his insight check. He's right. Go on. Yes, I'm listening.
Well, that's as far as I know. Like I say, it was only a rumour picked up in one of the bars There's been gossiping about
Oh, I
this
see. Gossiping. The
pirate
bars,
king
yes.
thing. Well, I do go around the bars a bit because on the comedy tour, earn a bit of gold, tell a bit of stuff, and you hear a few rumors here and again. Because
Yes,
there's
of
nobody
course.
gabs like sailors, is there?
No, quite right, quite right. Yes, absolutely. Well, I wanted you here to get some more information because the governor's sort of said one thing or the other. Um, so how did you come by this evidence? Now, he said there was a letter which implicated a tea tickle, I believe, and this evidence was freely offered up to you by this Camilla Runsi.
That's right. It's a fair cop, she said. She handed it over. She couldn't, countenance lying about it because she was quite proud of being a pirate king. One of those things.
Right,
Once it comes out, it's just there. It is.
I see.
Got my own boats and everything and a crew. We've got our own special tattoos. I think they had decorative peg legs to strap on at parties. Oh,
Oh, well, I say. Now, you've heard about the bother with her son, haven't you? This Robert Runsi. Big commotion in the dock area of the town, or the city, sorry. Blockading off a huge swathe of it because we and the government hadn't done enough to solve this murder.
vicious shaving accident.
Well, shaving accident, some say murder, But either way, I believe the official report from my men is that there were two people who looked like they'd attacked each other and happened to kill each other in the same instance. The government seemed to think there was more to it, but I don't have any evidence to the contrary. But nevertheless, it was enough to inspire her son. Now, whether he was, I'm guessing he was returning, or whether somebody got communication to him about this. He seemed to appear not too long ago, only a couple of weeks. I believe you were all out of town on a job for the governor. Anyway, did you hear? You heard, I presume, of this unruly behaviour on the wharf.
We've only
We
heard.
heard there'd been some unrest while we were away, but with being away, you don't know what to take as gospel truth and what to think is, just sailors being sailors.
Yes, well, several of the watch were able. They got into a fight down there and a skirmish, and the watch, although they took a couple of losses, did push them back, and they are now held up in the Runsi household. Is my understanding of the situation.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
It is, but unfortunately they can't stay there forever, and they probably won't stay there forever. I'm going to jump out of character for a moment. Opal, you did have a run-in with this blockade that night. You went to try and obtain blood from a prostitute, remember? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just to remind you, because you sort of sat there, I was thinking, I wonder if she'll pipe up.
No, I do. I remember. Yeah, that he stopped me saying that he owns the neighborhood.
That's right. Now, if you're willing to help, I will, of course, compensate you. You'll have some gold come your way, if that is pleasing to you. What I would like to have done, as an impartial group, would be to perhaps see if you can come to some arrangement with this Robert Runsi. I don't want any further bloodshed, and I don't want people getting in the way of any conflict, any of the locals. It's just not on. It's not decent. So would you perhaps consider, as you spoke with his mother, possibly even the last people to have spoken with his mother, to go down and convince him that we will get to the bottom of this. The watch will get to the bottom of it. He may take the bodies and perform whatever funeral rites he sees fit. But please take his men and his ships and leave Porthbury at once.
And what if he refuses?
I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, I would hope it wouldn't come to any bloodshed.
I
He
mean, if
sounds
he's,
very determined to find who killed his parents.
Tell
well, I think the evidence at the point was clear, wasn't it, that they'd killed each other. It was a terrible, terrible domestic issue, stroke shaving accident.
I agree with you. I don't think he's entirely convinced.
That's
And
the problem.
if you can convince him that we are doing everything we can, and to please vacate the city, and we will send word to him as soon as we have answers. And those responsible, if it was foul play, will be sent to him to be dealt with as he sees fit. I'm sure that'll be convincing enough.
I mean, did his mother still have the mustache?
I'm afraid, sir, I wasn't aware that she had any mustache.
Well, that's evidence that she shaved it off in the vicious shaving accident, you see. I'm sure your men would have mentioned it to you if she'd have been sporting a gigantic twirly mustache.
You can try and use that in evidence too, Robert, perhaps. But as I say, we need them out of the city. Their ships are in the bay. We cannot possibly have pirates blockading up the city.
I mean, we could go and talk to them, but, you know, you're the law. It's not the law's job to clear up pirates and burn the ships and hang them from the gibbets.
But there are quite a lot. Yes, I agree. There are quite a lot of them, however, and we don't have the manpower. Why don't you give me a persuasion roll to see if he'll perhaps muster some men?
I mean, you know, that's fine. How would a 23 grab you?
Yes, I suppose you are right. I mean, in days gone by, the watch would have done. I say we are stretched, but
I mean, that chap that you had on the door duty there, he seemed really persuasive. I think he could go and have a talk with that Runsi fellow, and he'd have him persuaded in no time.
Listen,
he's a lovely fellow. I'd love to give him a boost in his career. So,
I tell you what we'll do. I will see if I can muster a small force. I mean, we had a small force to drive them off the docks in the first place. If we can rally some men together, and with your support, why don't we see if you could either convince them or run them out? How about that?
What do you two think?
I think we can have a chat with young Robert.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, you've got a majority decision there.
How about this then? What we'll do is, you can return to the town. Thank you for this invaluable information you've given, and insight. Pardon me. I will send you back to the town. The boat is still here. It's not. It's been commissioned for yourselves. So, if you wish to stay here on the watchtower and take on refreshments, anything you wish. If you want to stay till tomorrow, you can, and then return, or you can go straight away. It's entirely your choice how you wish to proceed. If you don't want to take the boat, I can have it dismissed and send you round the long way if you want to walk. But I will certainly be sending word to my captain in the city that you are going to help muster a small force to go and deal with this Runsi boy.
Would you have any spare watch badges going around as sort of a deputation kind of thing to give a bit of, you know, what's the word?
Authority?
Bit of what? Sorry there, Rolio.
Authority.
Bit of authority, yes, bit of you know, the old shell of legitimacy on our actions there, you know, that we're backed by the regime, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. Now, he waves his finger. Why don't you help yourselves to the drinks globe. Any other refreshments you fancy from that cabinet over
I'm
there?
not sure I can carry the drinks globe down the
No,
stairs.
no, you don't have to carry it. Just wait. Help yourself to refreshments. There's snacks in
Oh,
that
right.
cupboard
Sorry, I
over
thought you meant the globe.
there. No, there are snacks in there and there are drinks in the globe. Help yourself. I'll be back in a moment. And he leaves you.
Okay.
For
It's just a nice globe, though. Do you think he'd mind if we took it with us?
I could carry it if you want me to.
Oh, no, he did say help yourself to the globe, but maybe it's not the right thing to have on board a boat.
I think
Heading
I
back.
think wording he meant help yourself to the contents of the globe.
He absolutely said help yourself to the globe.
Read between the lines.
I'm reading between the globe.
He goes down the ladder and he comes back up about 5 or so minutes later. And onto each of your heads, he places quite a wide-brimmed, not fedora, but it's kind of like a domed hat. If you're not already wearing a hat, I don't know if Rolio is.
No, Brady took his hat off.
Yeah, so you got this
For purposes like-
wide-brimmed, high-domed hat, which each of you has placed upon your heads. He hands each of you a fine cigar and pours a glass of whiskey for each of you. And he says, if you wish to be deputized, then you will have to swear an oath to the City Watch. Do you agree?
What do you two think? I was thinking of something more temporary, like, borrowing a badge or something.
Oh, no,
If you want to swear into the
This-
City
this-
Watch, I'm happy to do that.
This is not official. This is not making you members of the City Watch. This is, as you said, a deputized position to give you that formality. But if you are going to do that, I do require you to prove that you wish to do it to the
Grand,
utmost.
I can swear like a navvy.
Perfect. I just need to know that you are going to do this to the utmost of your ability and you are going to do it properly. And so I swear you in temporarily.
Right, so.
If you're happy,
Yeah, let's do it.
how about you, young lady?
What is it for us?
Well, you're helping get rid of the pirate scourge that is currently inhabited itself in our city.
Yeah, and this is a great honor, but at the same time, we do need to survive. So I
I
was
also
wondering
said earlier you would have some monetary compensation.
how big.
Well, if you can get rid of them for me, I will pay you each 150 gold.
200 and it's a deal.
I'm afraid my coffers are not unlimited, my dear.
That's why I didn't say 500.
150 gold each. Unless you want to make a persuasion roll.
To be fair,
And
they are.
we'll call this some level of intimidate. Is it intimidation? Perhaps
I
you.
don't think. I'm not
However you
intimi-
think you would do it.
I don't intimidate. I'm just. They are a lot, and they are pirates, and we are kind of doing your job.
So, well, you're not doing his job. He's giving you men to go with you. He's the leader.
Yeah.
So he's
No, not your job like yourself. Like this is a city watch
yeah.
thing.
He also
there are
lost.
ours.
He lost a lot of men in the initial skirmish, so he is trying to you guys are impartial. You're a third party. Maybe you can do that convincing. But what you rolled?
So I don't think I'm not trying to intimidate him at all.
No, if you want to persuade, that's fine.
7.
Natural 1. All right, okay. You drive a hard bargain. 200 gold each.
You will not regret it.
But you will not see any gold from the city's coffers arrive at your door until I see those ships left my bay.
That's fair, because this is why you're hiring us.
Right. Then repeat after me. Place one hand upon your chest.
Chest. What? I mean, is that the chest?
That's the chest, sir, yes.
It's all kind of, fairly uniform and cylindrical.
Well, that is your chest. So please place one hand
Right-o.
upon your chest and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I am up to no good.
You're right.
Are we having some repeating going on here or what?
I do
You want
solemnly
to,
swear.
you want to start to say, I do solemnly apparently swear.
So Opal is like mouth.
I need to hear it, my dear, otherwise you won't be getting paid.
Are you here? What are you talking about?
I do solemnly swear. I haven't heard
I
of
was
it.
solemnly swear.
Right, thank you. I don't know, bloody mercenaries. To uphold the law.
To uphold the law.
To uphold the law
To the best of my abilities.
to the best of my
To the
ability.
best of my abilities.
And serve Porthbree with my life.
And serve Porthbree
Liver.
temporarily with my life.
Oh, that'll have to do. Fine. Here. And he hands you each.
She just placed her liver.
He hands you each a silver, not star, but like some sort of brooch that signifies the. It's a brooch. In fact, a silver brooch of the castle, which is on the hill. That is the emblem of the City Watch. That's the brooch you get. And he hands you each a rapier, which is a standard rapier that you can find, in is it the DMG or the Player's Handbook? I never remember which ones the weapons are in now. Just standard rapier. Right, well, you are all, anyway, honorary members of the City Watch, deputies, as I believe your little metal friend here called it. You have no command over the watch, but you do have some authority in a way with this writ, and he hands you a scroll. You hand this to the highest ranking member of the watch that you speak to, and they will recognize that you are temporarily in control of this situation, and they are to do as you bid. And once you have rid us of this problem, of course, that right will be forfeit, and you will be back to citizens, or mercenaries, whatever you want to call yourselves. But for the time being, you are honorary members of the watch.
Excellent.
Okay.
We won't let you down.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear it. Anyway, the guest quarters are yours. They are a floor above, if you wish them. Otherwise, please do make your way back down to the jetty and begin your journey back to Porthbree.
Yeah, I think we should head straight back.
I mean, I think we might as well head straight back, unless there's anything that you want to do over here, Opal, particularly. But, is there anything you want to do? Opal, yes.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Well, we can either stay here and flabble around for a bit if you've got stuff to do, or we can get back on the boat and head over there and start working on the situation.
Think as quicker as we get along with it, we can just get rid of them. I'm happy to go back.
Then let's roll.
Gottlebots, roll out.
Does Gottle have a wheel or feet?
Sorry?
Does Gottle have like just one wheel, or does he actually have legs?
Oh, it's got legs, but we can attach wheels on the bottom of the feet if one to go roller skating.
I see.
He gets like these little heelys that pop out the bottom of his feet.
Yeah, just at need, if we wanted to do some recreational roller skating, I could buckle my wheel attachments on. I quite like one of those little flashy lights at the top now, going like that,
Woo, 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 woo.
What
My
lights?
God,
The
yes.
police
We need
one.
to find an artificial.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make do with a candle.
I can make the noise.
I like this idea that you build this some sort of elaborate attachment for Gottle that gives him wheels. He's got a candle on the top of his head in a lantern. Rodeo's steering by some method, and Opal's in the back is going woo 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 woo.
Wee, 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 wee.
Oh God.
I mean, we're absolutely doing that in the boat on the way back. It won't be annoying at all for the crew.
The crew just think you've gone absolutely mental.
Also, if we do that, we might annoy the pirates so much they will just leave.
I think
We're in a high
people
peak.
would probably have you sectioned.
We're in a high-speed pursuit. Let's get on the boat.
Cool. You make your way down the cliff, which is a lot easier than coming up it. You get back on your boat, and Eve, the skipper, is, "Oh, are we ready to go? Yes, excellent. Let's set sail." And crew jump into action. Is there anything you'd like to do on the day and a half over there, or are we going to jump ahead to arriving back in Porth?
Fishing. I'm joking.
You can go
The
fishing
water
again if you
again.
like.
Oh, good.
Are there any donuts on board?
What, like inflatable donuts or eating donuts?
Eating donuts. We're the police now. We've got to have
There
donuts.
could be cakes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's definitely donuts and there's some coffee and, yeah. You can do that. Dunkin' Donuts. Oh wait, no, we can't
Yes,
say
we'll
that
be
'cause
going.
that's a brand, isn't it? We better not say that because this goes on the internet. You have what would be another word for dunking? You have
Dipping donuts.
dipping donuts.
Dipping donuts.
Dipping donuts. That's a new brand within Amion, dipping donuts. A bit like
It's like
go
that
outside.
popular chicken brand, where every chicken must have 37 legs because there's that many drumsticks in a tub.
Yes.
In my town, we have Kansas chicken, Alaska chicken, any American state chicken, as well
We
as the
got
one that's
DFC.
famous. Well, we've got Dallas chicken, yeah. There's lots and lots of chicken houses in Oldham, and only one of the ones that you would expect to see on the high street that we wouldn't name on here for commercial reasons, but lots of independent ones.
Well, if you remember, we had in Vaybaba, we had Go Feast. If you remember, you're on your airship, and I think Dan was trying to be awkward, and I pulled out Go Feast from my backside. Did somebody
Right.
say
There you
Go Feast?
I needed it.
Yes.
Why not?
There is a chicken restaurant, and I'll think of what that is at some point. But it's not prevalent in Porthbury, unfortunately. They're not big on chicken in Porthbury. It's quite a fishy kind of place, being on the sea. But unlike Bear Grylls over in Orifan, who liked a bit of venison, they like a bit of venison and that sort of thing in Orifan. So,
Well, we can look forward to a steak or fish sandwich when we get back to port.
yeah, absolutely. It could be some sort of like surf and turf, something like that. But yes, we'll think of something. Maybe Ventus provides finger-licking, satisfactory chicken.
Yes, maybe it's toe-licking chicken.
Toe-licking chicken. There we go. TLC. Toe-licking chicken. It's not quite made it in Porthbury yet, but toe-licking chicken is a new thing. I'm going to make a note of it. Toe-licking
There you
chicken.
go.
Well done to that man. Toe-licking
Excellent.
chicken.
That's the Hobbit restaurant launched.
From Ventus. And for that, you can have inspiration, sir. For
Excellent.
Such an
Thank you.
excellent a thing there. Right. Okay. So the journey goes pleasantly. It's a lovely. You're in the summer months. It's a lovely day. There is a breeze enough that you can sail on, and but it's not atrocious weather conditions. You arrive at Porthbury about a day and a half after you set off again from the headland. And yeah, you're back in the sea. So you've got your writs, you've got your gear. It's up to you now to start to think what we're going to do about all this.
What do you
Let's
think,
just go.
guys? Should we gather the troops and see what sort of a squad we can muster?
I don't know what is the best approach.
I will remind Opal, you did have a young friend within the watch, and I'm going to
Yeah.
remind myself of his name because.
Do you mean the girl?
No, it was a young man, the young Spotty Herbert.
What are you thinking, Opal? Are you thinking we should go down and try and persuade them before
I
resorting to an intimidatory show of police force?
I think we should.
Sammy
I don't
Zed.
think we should go by ourselves. I think. Did I kill him by mistake or not?
No, Sammy Zed was that young Spotty Herbert that took a fancy to you, and then we realised that he was a bit older than Opal in terms of appearance, because Opal appears as a 12-year-old girl and he's like 18. And that's when I sort of took things back and went, oh no, he doesn't hit on you, because that would be wrong.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if we should go and ask for a meeting with him, and maybe have
You wouldn't need to ask for a meeting.
the man.
He's like
Just go, yeah.
he just
But the
patrols
thing is,
around.
no, I mean, if we go and talk to him, but even though we are talking to him, we still have the man with us as like a tactic of
Oh, sorry, I forgot the round.
intimidation.
I thought you meant you. So you want to go and find Sammy, but ask if you can get a posse together to go against Robert Runsi.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Oh, okay. I've really got it
Ramsey.
wrong then.
So the guy, the Ramsey himself, which
Yeah.
if we go and maybe talk to him,
Yeah.
but at the same time have with us the men, so at least he sees that we are not alone, and say like tell him what we were told, that we are happy for him to take the bodies and leave, and then we will let him know as soon as we have news, and see how he will get it before we start intimidation tactics. But in order to take us seriously, I don't know if we should take also the men with us, so he can see that we are not alone.
Right, but it's two schools of thought in it. We either go low key and try and persuade him, or we go mob handed and try and intimidate him out. But we
I'm
can't go mob handed and then try and persuade him.
not
I
quite
don't
sure
think
that
that
he
works.
will. From the little I spoke with him, I don't think he will be persuaded in a low key. I don't think he's that kind of character, but I might be wrong.
Well, shall we go and assess how many watchmen might be made available to us, and that might help us decide on tactics there?
Yeah, I reckon
Yeah,
it's the
maybe.
best way
Because
to
if
proceed.
we get like 3 watchmen, we're not going to strong arm him out. If we get like I don't know how many men he's got, but if we get about the same number of people, that'll be fine. I mean, Rolio can turn into an orc again and sit on his knee.
I could turn into other things.
Oh, well, that'd be useful. I was just thinking, a big orc on your knee, you're going to listen to what's being proposed at you, aren't you?
Yes.
You don't have to attack him, you just have to sit in his kneecaps. It's going to focus his attention.
It's going to be painful.
It certainly will.
It might be a bit dry, so maybe not an orca. But, woolly mammoth or something like that. Be grand. But what do you think? Shall we go and find out how many
Yeah,
roses
let's
we've
go.
got coming with us?
Yes, let's go get some roses. As you call them.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we'll take a quick break. Welcome to part 2. We, I believe, are on the hunt for Sammy, the young man of the watch.
My potential boyfriend.
Well, I think he's shied off of that idea now. You ask about, and some people say, "Oh, I haven't seen Sammy." No, I haven't seen it. And somebody else says, "Oh yeah, I saw Sammy. He was up by the jewellery shop." And you head your way up through the town, and there he is chatting to some locals, and he sees you coming, and he looks a bit embarrassed. He looks a bit sorry for himself, and the other person leaves, and he sees you as, "All right, what's that?"
Are you alright?
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Opal. I feel a bit silly after last time I seen you.
Why?
Well, I sort of hinted at we should, get to know each other a bit better, but I neglected to take into account that you were quite a lot younger than me, so wasn't quite right with it.
I did not even notice.
But look at you all, though. Look, you're all dressed up like you're watchmen. Well, not watchmen, because the watchmen don't actually dress this way. More like detectives of the watch, if you will. The actual
Very
watch,
temporary.
yeah, the watch themselves wear like blue jackets and trousers, black boots, and they have like a metal a breastplate, pauldrons, and then like a almost like a tricorn kind of like hat. I think I described it as very sort of like Renaissance military type dress. You could almost imagine they would have a long loaded musket or something, but they don't. They carry.
Oh my God! It's the Swiss Guard.
So yeah, something like that. Probably like a plumage in the top of their helmets if they have like a seniority to them. But no, but they do carry a bow and they carry a sword. What's all this about then? Why are you all dressed up like this?
Well, we are part of the guard, and we are deputies now, and we're trying to
That's
remove
the
the
word I was looking for.
pirates.
Not detectives, deputies. That was what I was looking for. I suppose in a way
And
similar to a detective, but not quite.
Well, I think you will find that we might well be detectives as well, my young spotty pimple friend.
Oh, all right. That's be rude.
It's not rude when it is accurate.
Look, I've got a skin condition, all right. You didn't have to like point it out in front of everyone in public. Come on.
Well, I have rust on the inside of my apertures, so it's a thing. Don't worry about it.
And
It will clear up in time.
what
If
happened?
not, use a Brillo pad.
What's gone on with your accent anyway? You didn't sound like that last time I seen you.
Well, I'm playing the role of a detective, you see. All
Oh,
detectives have little Belgian accents. I am working on growing a mustache out of
What?
charcoal.
What's a Belgian accent?
Well, it's like this.
Oh.
No, I've gone Welsh now. Tell you.
I've never heard of a Belgian accent before. I'm guessing that's a strange, far off place.
I don't know. It is quite far away, and they lack sandwiches and chips.
Oh. Anyway, so you're deputies now.
Yeah, we've been told by your boss that we need to get rid of Mr. Runsi. Well, Robert Runsi.
Oh yeah, they caused a bit of a problem the other night, didn't they? There was a bit of running. We lost a couple of blokes. I wasn't there. I wasn't on duty.
Well, now's your time to actually redeem yourself then. We need to get a few of our lads together.
He looks like redeem myself. How can I redeem myself for something I wasn't a part of?
Well, there we go.
I don't really follow your meaning, sir, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a chance to, well, help us get rid of Robert.
Oh yeah, I'm all for helping.
We need to get a few more lads, not just you.
Yeah, we'll take you to the watch house if you want to try and round up a few more men. That'd be the place to
How
do
many?
it.
How many's down there normally?
Well, you'll have the guard on. Probably a couple of people who aren't on duty or just coming on the duty or maybe even coming off of duty. You got the people who watch the cells as well. You have been there, I think, already once. In fact, yes, you did, because you went there to check on this young lad, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, you have been there once before. It wasn't like full of people, but might have just been the time of day.
Yeah. Let's go there then. Lead the way, young son.
Well, you are halfway through the day. When you arrive back, you found him. So let's put that mid-afternoon. And you do come down, and there are a few more people here. Maybe changing shifts and watches and such, as I said. And yeah, I'm going to say there's about 20 blokes in here. At the moment, some taking off armour, some putting on armour of the watch to come over. And he sort of leads you in and he says, all right, boys. And they look up and go, oh, all right, Sammy, yeah. And their sort of like captain for that particular unit looks over, and we're going to call this... In fact, it's that rather grumpy dwarf bloke that sent you off.
Oh, no.
What was his name? What was his name? Hold on, I will bring it up. I do have his name here somewhere.
Gildian?
Gildane's the name of the
Gildane.
captain.
Ah, okay.
My
notes are shot.
No, well, not really. I mean, you've got his name. Oh, where is it? His name was Gimmick Broad Tankard.
I have that written down.
Yes, no, his name was, where did I have it? I literally just had it. Something Broad Tankard. Oh my god, I really should highlight names better. Gimmick Broad Tankard. Gimmick Broad Tankard. He noticed you all as you approach, and he'll say, nice to see you all again. So you've been upgraded, have you, since visiting the Watch Commander?
Yeah, we got new trousers and everything.
Excellent. Most excellent. He eyes you up and down. Deputies, I see.
I'll hand him the sheet of paper.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot what you called it.
The writ.
Writ, yeah.
He takes it and he reads it. So, the Watch Commander's granted you a temporary status, eh? So, what's your job? What's he giving you the status for?
We're getting rid of Runsi and all the ships. We need you to get all your men together so we can get rid of this Robert for you.
Aye, that bastard Robert. All right. Yes, absolutely. I will help you in this endeavour. And he looks about the room. Like I said, there's about 20 of them in there. Probably 10 going on off shift and 10 coming on. Lads, I'm terribly sorry if you're coming off shift. Would you mind staying on with the rest of us just for a wee bit longer, and I'll stand you a few pints. How about that? And there's a few murmurings. Oh, for God's sake! But then a couple of pints though. Yeah, go on then. We'll do it. We'll help you. It'll be business all round. Business all round at the Drunken Fungus later on this evening. And they, yeah, all right then. All right then, give it. Yeah, we'll do that. So you got 20 men at your disposal, and Gimmick.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we head down to Runsi now, or yeah, we'll head down there.
I think we probably should, because
Yeah.
Can't keep these lads on shift all night.
So you're going down with a show of force.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. You make your way down through the town. I can't remember. We said this particular guardhouse, I think, was quite close to the top of the hill, where the castle is, which is also now the government building. You make your way down through the town, and people, it's quite an impressive sight. I mean, 20 of the watch all together, not patrolling individually, but all together. People definitely know that something's about to happen or going on, especially seeing you guys with them. They haven't seen outsiders, because you are still outsiders to this place, not renowned heroes or something like that, dressed as deputies. And you make your way down to the waterfront district, and you come upon the Runsi household, which, yes, all of the pirates had withdrew inside of that compound, but there are a few hanging around the gates outside. And seeing this larger force arriving, I think let's call us out. Let's say there are 5 of these sort of rough-looking deckhand type people, all loose shirts and trousers, that sort of thing, maybe sandals, but they all have cutlasses and such. And one of them they all step forward from the gate, but one of them sort of approaches and puts his hand up. And he says to you, so, speak quickly. What's your business? Why are you approaching this house in force? My name... Oh, sorry, am I not allowed to finish my introductions? My name is Nathan. Nathan Crispy.
Okay. So we're with the watch. I'm looking to talk to Robert in regards to his parents' death.
I gave you my name. You didn't give me yours.
Deputy Radio.
Oh, deputy, and they all sort of like have a little chuckle. And say, oh, get him! Look, he's deputy. Oh.
I'm not going to give him my actual title. You know.
So what is it you wanted? You want to
Speak to Robert.
Speak to Robert. I don't think
Runsi.
he's got anything to say to you.
It's about his parents. I'm pretty sure he wants to speak to us about it.
Well, I think we know an awful lot about his parents. Don't really need to talk to any deputies. We know they were murdered. Unless you come here with tidings that the government are actually going to do something.
Well, our tidings are just for Robert, so they are.
Right.
If you want to be the one who's responsible for holding back information from your leader at this delicate moment in time.
He sort of looks back to the others, and they sort of come over and they have a little whisper to each other. And he looks back and says, right, you, pointing at Rolio, since you're the one that seemed to be the one to speak for your group, you can come with us. The rest of them stay outside.
That's definitely not happening.
Well, you ain't bringing all them in.
Well, he can come out here, can he?
Oh, no. He ain't coming out here. It's not safe. Think we're
Well,
stupid.
of course it's safe. There's 20-odd policemen stood here. Nobody's going to rob him, are they, in front of us?
I don't think he's worried about being robbed.
We haven't come here to cause him any issues. We just want to talk to him about his parents.
And who are you, young lady? In fact, I seem to recall seeing you the other night. Going
Yeah,
to
I
some
have
pub.
already talked to him. So
I don't think you talked to him. I think you spoke to me and my mates here.
well, maybe it was you. I don't remember faces. I'm sorry. Only people that they are actually
To be
having
honest,
worth on me.
I can't remember if you spoke to Robert either. I can't remember if it was Robert you spoke to or one of these guys you
I
spoke
think
to.
it was him.
Was
I
it him?
spoke to him,
I
yeah, because
can't
he told me
remember
about
going back to it.
his parents. So we just came here to update him about the situation. So either he wants to know what is happening or not. He can stay here forever and do nothing, or we can update him, and it's up to you. I'm sure he will be very happy to hear that you prevented us from seeing him to give him more information about his parents.
Look, you can come in. Tell you what, you three can come in, but he ain't coming out. And we'll say that Robert, it was Robert you spoke to. I can't remember. Talk about going back. So it was so many weeks ago. We'll say you spoke to Robert that night, and you're being invited to go in and see him again.
I did speak to Robert. I remember that it was him.
Oh, well,
Because he
definitely,
said to
100%.
me, "Oh, it was my parents." I was like, "Ugh."
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So you did speak to Robert. That's fine. He would remember you then. Going back in. If that's what you want to do, but he's definitely not coming out.
What do you think? Should we go in, or should we just go back to the pub, and then Robert can do without the information?
Well, it's not that. It's not. We don't care about. It's not our issue. So if he really cares, he can come and meet us.
What do you think, Rolio?
What would be the harm of going in?
Well, it's a great big den of pirates with lots and lots of pirates, and there'd be just the three of us.
Mm. It's tricky.
We can meet in a neutral ground.
Where was the neutral ground?
You could meet in a neutral ground. Why? You three seem very keen on talking. Why the big force behind you? Afraid of something?
No, the lads are just getting some fresh air. No, I mean, you've got a little gang of people around yourself, haven't you, there?
Well, there's only 5, and we're just stationed on the gate. Tell you what, he says the other 4, you lot go inside. I'll stand here and talk to them. He's making a point here. And the other 4 go, eh? And he'll stand there and talk to himself. I got nothing.
Right.
I'm not afraid of you.
We didn't ask you to be afraid of us. We just want to speak to Robert.
And you 3 can come in. I just want to know why you got such a big force behind you. And so I said, what are you afraid of?
We are not afraid of anything. They're just our group.
Well, you send them away, and you can come and talk to Robert.
I'm sure they can wait outside.
You can make a persuasion roll.
I don't think that you are afraid of them either. So if you're not afraid of them either, it doesn't harm if they just stay outside and wait for us. $16.
They can hang around if they want. But get too close to that gate. We got a lot of men in there, armed. They won't hesitate. Don't want no funny business. We got attacked the other night by your lot. We weren't doing nothing.
Jury's still out on that one, isn't it, on what exactly happened the other night? I mean, as luck would have it, we were away, so we didn't actually see it, so we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But,
I don't know. You weren't away. You were in the city. You were in the city when it happened.
I was away on business, man. You know how some days you just get that thirst on you? You must have been there yourself. Come on, gatekeeper.
Well, of course, I like a bit of bun. Oh, God,
There
sounds
you
so
go.
wrong if you listen to that out of context.
That's right. Well, you know, maybe maybe one day you could come out for a drink with us and see how we go. But for now, these lads can stay here. If there's any shady business, well, at least the watch is on hand to sort it out. So it's good insurance for yourselves, and you don't want to go around threatening the watch of the city, do you? Because
You'll
these lads
understand.
are only one shift.
Well, you'll understand what I'm coming from when you. Last time a big force of them turned up, they had a right go at us, and we hadn't done nothing wrong.
Right.
Can
Well,
we just go and talk to Robert?
I mean, I'm tempted to, but we went and got these lads out and kept them away from the bar for a bit. So I don't want them to just be hanging around. Nothing.
Right. Well, anyway, you three can come in if you want to. Come and speak to Robert. But they are not coming in.
Right.
Let's
Just
go
let
in.
me confer with the little dwarf chap over there, because he's like the senior officer on watch, I think.
Yeah.
Right. You're sort of the senior officer on watch this night, aren't you?
I am. Aye.
Right. So they're not wanting to let everybody go in. Think they're a bit, scared of your prowess and all that sort of stuff. But how would it be if we three went in and had a talk? If we didn't come out in 2 hours, you get every bloody lad that you can lay your hands on and come back here.
I don't like it, but they're not going to let you talk to him unless we do that, are they? So I will. How about this? We'll back off a bit.
Right. But if we don't get out in 2 hours,
We'll come for you.
summon the hordes and bring them all. Get the night shift up, the day shift up, and the reserves out.
Pains me to say it, but we might even get some of them Crimson Blades to come and help us.
That's an idea. But play it cool for now. We'll go. Should we say 2 hours or 3?
2 hours, I'm sure, is enough to
Yeah.
parley with these pirates.
We'll do that then. Right, so.
Going on in.
Let's go.
Let's go in.
You're let in. You're fairly familiar with the layout of the house. You go into that sort of large reception area, and then you've got the corridor, the stairway in the middle, and all the adjacent rooms leading off. You're led through to the back where the study is. You see, although they've cleaned it as best they can, you see the blood stains in the places where you left them. And Robert is sat at the desk looking through a journal. And it's his mother's journal of various nautical adventures or misadventures. He sees you all, especially you, Opal. He looks up. I don't remember what voice I gave him, but as it was a
Pretentious
priest-
posh lad.
It was what?
A pretentious posh boy.
A pretentious posh boy, a bit like this, was it?
Yes.
Ah, young lady. Good to see you again. And who are these people, and why are you dressed like something of the watch?
Because we are something of the watch.
Oh, so it is official business, is it? I'm sure
It
the
is.
watch would not be too keen to know that you were loitering or looking to loiter around bars with ladies of the night.
I'm a free girl. I can do whatever I want.
Well, apparently you're
And
not
I
a free
told
girl.
you she was my cousin.
Not a free girl, though, are you? If you're part of the watch, you are bound to an oath, I'm
Enough
sure.
about me. We are here on official business, and these are my partners in crime. My partners, and we came here to talk about the problem you've got.
Excuse me a moment, and he takes a large cigar out of his jacket, and he pops it in his mouth. And
I take my cigar
takes-
too, and I put it on my mouth
he
too.
takes a match and strikes it and lights it. Big inhale and blows it out in your direction. being
I
very
do the same.
disrespectful.
I do the same to him.
But he's being very disrespectful.
I do exactly the same to him.
So my problem, you say?
Yeah, why are you here?
And what exactly is my problem?
You are looking for the fate of your parents?
No, I
We
know
are
the
here
fate of
to
my
give.
parents. I want to know who is responsible for their fate. And if I don't find out, then yes, I'm quite prepared to raise this government to the ground.
We have a message for you from the watch. They are on it, and they are happy for you to get the bodies of your parents and leave. And the investigation will continue. And as soon as we know something, you will be the first to know.
Give him a persuasion roll.
Six.
So,
I've got inspiration. Can I reroll?
if you have inspiration, you could add it in.
I'll use a different die.
Well, you're only adding to it, you're not re rolling it.
Oh, sorry. How does it work?
I think you probably have a d6 of inspiration, which you can add to your roll.
Sorry, let me. I just reroll. Okay, that's fine. So I had 6 and
Could, in fact,
9.
or is it a d8 for inspiration? I think it's d. I think it's d6. 9. Anyway, do you know? I could hold a little funeral for my parents here, and not have to go anywhere, and unless I get an answer onto who is responsible or what has actually happened here, then I could continue and just raise this place to the ground. I have my ships, I have my men, I even have what do they call them? Themselves, silly people, the Bones crew at my disposal.
Right.
I'm
So,
afraid
but your business model is quite predicated on having ships, isn't it?
they are sat in the bay. I could quite easily have them open fire.
Well, you could, but then you'd get casualties and you'd be weakened in front of the other, let's call them alternative traders of the coast. You'd be weakened and vulnerable to maybe outside influences. Whereas if you were to leave without maybe, escalating anything that might jeopardize the future of your ships, then, you could go without losing face if you took the bodies of your parents and gave them a lovely funeral that maybe, we could persuade some members of the watch to help carry the coffins and make it look really civic and professional if you'd agree to leave the city, make it look like they were being honoured by the city.
And what assurances do I have, of course, that anything will be done about it once we've left?
Well, the
Because
watch is investigating and investigations are proceeding.
Well, that's so
You
they've
know how the
said.
watch works. It's slow but extremely thorough.
It has been weeks and we have seen nothing.
It's obviously a dastardly thing that's going on. I don't quite know all the details, but I'm sure the top men in the watch are on it at the moment. And like I say, maybe they're being distracted from pursuing this level of inquiry by being distracted by the threat of piracy within the city walls and threats of violence to citizens and burning the city down and all that kind of thing. It's going to have a bit of a detrimental effect to how you can investigate things.
Gothel can make
and
an
also
investigation.
the other thing is that
Investigation, persuasion.
you can
Persuasion.
either. Sorry.
No, carry on.
So the other thing is the city watch could get just done a very quick investigation and give you nothing, and or they can take their time and actually do a thorough investigation and give you evidence and the truth about what happened to your parents. But as Gothel said, while you're here and you are actually taking the times of the city watch, the time of the city watch, they're not going to be able to continue the search about the truth about what happened to your parents. So actually, it is up to you if you want that to continue or not. And the fact that they care enough to send us to tell you what is happening, I think you should be grateful of having this information rather than just completely ignore you, never learn about your parents, and just come and kill you.
Well, they have tried to kill us and they failed, so I'm not worried about that. For podcast, was
You
that
don't know that.
6 from Gottel, was it?
No, it's 24.
Oh, 24. Sorry, I didn't see all of it then. That's cool.
2, 4.
Oh, 2 and 4. I took that as the other way around. Cool. In response to Opal, yes, it's very much a case of, well, they did try and kill us and they didn't get very far, because we're still here. To Opal, to Gottel, it's, you make an interesting point, sir. He gestures to one of his men to come over, and he whispers something. We will make arrangements in the morning to have my parents brought up from the cellar and placed aboard my ship. And we will return to my ships and we will give my mother and father a burial at sea. We shall depart the bay, but under one condition. We shall return in a month. And when we do, we expect news that whoever is behind all of this, or whatever has happened, we will have answers. And preferably heads. What say you on this?
I say that's a pretty good offer and would give a little bit of working room to try and ascertain exactly what went on that tragic night.
Excellent. Just making a note. Four answers. I look forward to meeting with you again in a month. As I said, we shall take my parents tomorrow morning. We shall depart. Perhaps our presence not here would give, as you say, the watch something else to think about. Preferably these answers. I will warn you, however, this Bones crew are slightly more renegade than we are. Do not think as we do. They are much less civil people. There may be a plot afoot. Some merchant visited in the night to offer their condolences. There may be a plot afoot to destroy the government building. We will send word to them, of course, to stop this plot, because we have an agreement. But I would act quickly. If they don't respond to us, if they wish to go ahead with it, let's just say your government building won't be standing for much longer, nor will half of this hill, with the amount of black powder that is currently residing underneath it.
Thank you for that, and for the graceful way in which you've taken a short leave of absence to fully grieve for the loss of your parents, but also to give a little bit of time and space for key witnesses to come to the light in an environment where they won't feel threatened. I'm sure you'll use all of your influence with the Bones crew to emphasize how much blowing up the government building would set inquiries back and undermine the goodwill which we have to find the truth, the terrible truth for that night. Obviously, explosions and raining government officials from the sky is going to be a distraction. So I would encourage you to be as eloquent as you have proved to be with us in your persuasive powers to influence the Bones crew to keep a low profile and just let things get worked out.
I will send men this evening to speak to them on this matter and try and dissuade them from their actions. They are, of course, a force to be reckoned with and a force of their own. However, you may think of us as some terrible rabble that goes from port to port, causing problems. We are actually, for the large part, gentlemen. We just don't agree with the same laws and morals that you do, let's say. But I will do my utmost to make sure that any plots on their part do not come to fruition. They were, of course, acting under our instructions, and we did provide the black powder. I will do my best to remove as much of it as possible by the morning.
That's an excellent proposition, and I thank you for it. Is that acceptable to you two?
Very acceptable.
Yeah, I think it is decent.
Very well, then, sir. You have our undertaking to allow you to do some undertaking of your own and set your parents at rest
Thank you very
without
much.
interference from the watch.
I will see you again in a month's time.
We cannot
so-
wait.
We'll have the whiskey ready.
I look forward to it.
We'll leave you to your evening and get you some rest before you start your preparations for the morrow.
Thank you very much, sir. And you're escorted out of the house and away.
Let's go and meet up with the watch and get them to stand down further now.
Yeah, and maybe we need to tell them about the other group that they're trying to take over.
Well, the Bones crew are acting under orders from the pirates, basically. They were just, they're like just swords for hire, kind of like goons who are just, they'll do anything for the highest bidder,
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know.
It's better to be prepared.
Maybe give them the tips up to, double the watch on the government building after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we want them to clear out the black powder first, and we don't want them to catch him doing that, or else there'll be all sorts of kerfuffle going on. Maybe we'll tell them about that bit in the morning.
Cool.
Agreed.
For now,
So-
should we go and see how drunk we can get that dwarf?
Let's do it.
Yeah, he'll go with you to a pub of your choosing.
Before we leave, I want to give each one of the guards that came with us 2 gold each to get a pint on me.
Yeah, well, he did say he was going to stand them all a pint anyway, so
Yeah, I'm going to add on top of that
you
as
can
well,
add on top of that.
making them wave.
Yeah, lovely. They're all quite keen on that, and they'll follow you to wherever you want to go.
Where's the nearest pub?
Well, for you, I'd imagine you're going to go to the Drunken Fungus.
Well, why not? There might be that horrendously terrible comedian on duty again.
Oh no, he's not coming out tonight. I think he's a bit embarrassed after last
Phineas Mayhew.
time. Oh, Phineas
Oh,
Mayhew.
Terrible
I
shame.
wrote his name down, but I didn't write down the dwarfs.
Gimmick,
Alright.
Gimrek, broad tankard.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah,
So
I'm
that's
gonna go-
bought us. I mean, are we in the situation now where we're in a bit of peace and quiet and not surrounded by people already? Oh,
Well, if you're going to the pub, you are surrounded by people, yeah.
let's discuss this at a later date then.
So your plan is, just so I got it clear, you don't want to mention the black powder yet because you want to give the pirates a chance to get it out without causing any raised eyebrows.
Well, he said he'd talk to the Crimson, no, to the dudes, the Bones
The Bones
dudes,
crew,
and
yeah.
maybe take some of the black powder out of there. I think it'd be unfortunate if somebody was to see him doing that, because that might undermine the month of peace that we'd just bought the city.
Yeah.
If he was caught with explosives under the government building.
It's like you've solved November 5th.
So let him de-escalate a bit. If he's in a good mood to de-escalate, then we can get on with finding the evidence we need to satisfy him, Governor.
Excellent. Yeah, you definitely you've definitely de-escalated him, and he's willing to go along with it, as you say, for now. Before we end the session, I will say that news of your deeds has travelled a little bit between certain people, and Albertus finds you in the Drunken Fungus, drinking with a guard, and he sort of pulls you to one side and I did hear some of the guard were talking about how you diffused the situation with that Robert Runsi. I just want to congratulate you.
Well, it's not over yet, so
But you de-escalated without bloodshed. That's excellent. After the other night with the skirmish in the streets, I'm very pleased to hear that you managed to do it without causing any further loss to the watch.
Yeah,
Well, thank
we
you
don't
for
want
that. No, we didn't want any collateral damage bouncing around the place if we can help it.
No, absolutely not. Like I said, we can't afford to lose any more of them.
No, we just got to now figure out what we've got to do in a month's time.
A month's time? What's happening in a month's time?
They're coming back in a month's time and they want no answer.
Why would they be coming back if you got rid of them?
Well, we've de-escalated the situation you are currently having. A month's time gives chance to find the crucial evidence that will satisfy him permanently and persuade him to permanently up sticks and relocate his business opportunities elsewhere.
Oh, I see. Okay, well,
Today was kind of, a useful first step in negotiations. Man like Robert Runsi can't be influenced all at once in one go. You've got to work on it all the time.
I see.
Indeed.
Well,
Yeah.
nevertheless, well done. Well done. Good work.
Excellent.
We'll
Well, you've
figure
got
it
a
out.
month to recruit some more watchmen.
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to persuade them when they come back that with an answer.
If you can, if the evidence can be found that answers his question, I'm sure it will be provided to him.
What is it he wants to know? Just simply what happened to his parents, I suppose.
And maybe he might appreciate seeing the culprits brought to justice.
I'm sure we can find some culprits for him. Maybe.
I'm sure you'll find the correct culprits for the job.
Yes. Yes, you leave that with me. I'll sort that out. Although I must admit, I don't know what sort of sway I am only a visiting governor here. I am reaching the end
Well-
of what I came here to set out to do. So I hopefully I'll still be here in a month.
New evidence might come to light now that the watch can concentrate on being the watch rather than having to pacify Robert's men and look after the city. So let's get that sorted, and then I'm sure evidence will be discovered by a robust policing team.
I'm sure you're quite right. Well, listen, enjoy your evening, your victory, and I will catch up with you very soon.
Excellent. Well, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay, right. Well, have a pleasant evening. Thank you very much. See you later. And he gets up and he trundles off. Unless there's anything you guys want to do for a minute, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. Probably say that you return to your house at some point in the evening as it goes on, and then pick it up the next day. Next time.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's a good place to pause.
So we are coming to the end of this little story arc. That was a part of it, how you handled that. There is a second
Yes.
part, and we'll come to that next time.
Yes. Oh, that was quite a lot of gabbing to persuade him.
Hey, it's good. It's good though. It all worked out. Bit of gabbing, bit of dice rolling. Job done.
Yeah, for now. Now we just have to make sure that the culprit is found.
Let me hide. I'm not here.
But I think we'll probably find that the culprit looks an awful lot like the culprit that was responsible for the actions in the other city that killed off Dragon Lady. We can pin it on them and run for the hills. Be fine.
We'll see how it plays out. Right. Well, thank you for playing anyway. And we will see you all in a fortnight, unless anyone's on holidays. I know, Corbs, you've got something coming up, but I don't know when that falls on game time. But
Not until the third and fourth week of August, I will be
Yeah, so-
away and
there'll be another session.
not
Yeah.
accessing anything.
There'll be another session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, listening. See you soon. I'm not going to do what I did last time and